Hey everybody, welcome to, what is it, March 9th MakerDAO Community Call. My name is David, and I'm joined here today by Andrey, and we have an awesome call for you today. So if you're unfamiliar with the call, as of lately, we've been using this call to really invite guests on that are doing things related to DAI, to MakerDAO, to DeFi, and to basically give them a platform to share with the maker community what it is that they're doing, why it's relevant, and also to kind of create a space for feedback, to give a chance for people on this call, people in the comments in the video, to ask their questions, to give their feedback, and ultimately so that we can make things better altogether, and see some interesting stuff along the way. And so today our guest is Andrey. Are you the lead dev of Incognito Protocol, or what's your role in the whole team?
We call it like project lead.
Project lead. Okay, cool.
Kind of, yeah. So
Nice.
deciding the direction and making decisions.
Nice.
I would say like that. You mentioned that March of 8, and here is March 10 in Vietnam. So saying hello from Vietnam, like our head office in Ho Chi Minh City since the beginning.
It's late, right?
A little bit, but it's fun.
Yeah, naturally. So the whole atmosphere of this call is meant to be very interactive. So Andrey, I believe, prepared a presentation for us, and we're going to look at like a pre-recorded video demo later. But feel free to, if you're here, to ask questions. There's an ask question button over there. I think I'm on the left side of everybody's screen, so that should have worked.
This one. In my screen is that.
Okay, yeah, cool. So there should be like an ask question button down there. I'll happily relay any questions people in the chat ask. But yeah, so I'm going to give it over to you, Andrey, and I guess we could start off with, what is Incognito Protocol?
Let's just briefly clarify. We go through introduction,
Sure.
or you let me to share like the presentation right straightforward?
Yes. So I was interested in getting just like one or two sentences of what Incognito Protocol is, and then I was curious about like the background of yourself, the team, how Incognito Protocol came to be what it is today. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can jump into the whole presentation.
In general, in fundamental, Incognito is like privacy-focused blockchain network, which based on like the privacy set based on cryptonaut cryptography. It includes ring signature, confidential transactions, still address, and we work now on implementing confidential assets as well. Like this is additional tech on top of that. And in terms of like consensus, we like based on proof of stake, we run Incognito network on 8 shards right now, with like possibility to scale to like, I don't know, whatever it's required, like 56, 120, like whatever. Like 8 shards on this point is like more than enough to handle like the current demand. So there is a like blockchain network, which is one part. There is privacy stack, which is the second part. And there is, like we call it interoperability stack, is the work we do for like cross-chain communication. Like I will share later on presentation how we maintain bridge to Ethereum network. It's non-custodial, it's trustless, it's like verifiable. And this is simply like 3 aspects of Incognito network. And then on top of Incognito network, we are building actually a line of products. Technically, Incognito doesn't have like virtual machines, so we not support smart contract like you can imagine on Ethereum, but we are able to hard code like smart contracts into the chain. For example, we already hard coded IMM decentralized exchange, like aka Uniswap, but with like anonymous protection, something like that. And then in the plans, we simply like thinking about to implement all kind of DeFi applications, which is successful in public space, and just to experiment in privacy mode.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm excited to ask you some more questions about that later, like when we get into it.
Yeah. I will have presentation. I will actually go through every aspect about privacy, then about scalability, then about interoperability. I will explain how bridge works. I will explain how privacy for smart contract works as well.
Sweet. So tell me a little bit before we get into that, a little bit about yourself, your background, and the whole story behind Incognito.
Okay, so I'm originally from Ukraine, from Odessa. I study like physics and computer science in Ukraine. Was working in like software industry for a while until in 2016 I got hunted on like cyber identity project, and then in this project we were actually exploring like blockchain technology, and it was actually quite interesting because that project was funded by like a guy with the name Ronald Noble. He's like ex-general secretary of Interpol. And actually everything which I learned about blockchain, about privacy, and about technology, it came from that project.
That's incredible.
And then unfortunately the project was closed in the like September 2017. There was, if you guys remember, there was like very like hot discussion around like blockchain and crypto in that moment. Once that project was closed, I started researching about privacy for like blockchain technology. And then in parallel, I was actually like working in some like marketing agency in that time, and researching. I think in November 2017, I made my first fork of Monero and tried to like learn deeper in that direction. And all the time, I was actually living in Saigon in Vietnam here. And what else? Yeah. Just
nice.
trying to remember through the dates. Yeah, and then it was like 2018. It was still hot on crypto, and I was actually get kind of excited about like privacy tech. And very interesting that like Incognito originally like was funded by like Dewey. He's like Vietnamese guy who like who grew up in US and then came back in Vietnam to just build like software startups. And his actually story also like quite interesting. He became like PhD student when he was 17. He got like some grants from NASA when he was like studying in US. He was I don't remember the year, but he was computer science Olympic. He was in the final like championship of this. So he's like really like good in computer science. And he started like researching in blockchain and privacy around beginning 2018. And his company was also like in Vietnam here. In 2019, our common friend actually introduced us, and he told us actually that we're doing the same things in parallel and don't know each other in that moment. So, and then since 2019, I joined like full-time Incognito and just focusing on like this project.
Nice. That's how big is the team?
I think today in Slack it was like 50 people. I think something like that. In our like working Slack, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, that was my bad. I accidentally hit the mute video button instead of the mute voice button.
And actually, probably also like worth to mention that so like technically like Dewey, he's like founder of Incognito, and I just jump in like when development already started. And like Incognito in general is like fully self-funded project. So we didn't do any kind of fundraising. We didn't do either private, either like public sales. We just start like building technology. And in October 2019, we already like launched Mainnet. And since October 2019, we start like working on some kind of product. So we thought that the blockchain network, it's not a product itself. So we start like building like decentralized exchange. We start building wallets and so on, so on.
Got it. And hopefully that answers Akiva's question from the chat, because he was asking if Incognito is going to be deployed on public Ethereum, which it sounds like it was deployed in October of 2019. Is that right?
You mean the breach? So also important to I think the breach was like deployed like same, maybe November. In October we launched like mainnet. In November we deployed the first breach. And actually on Ether Search, there is our article about it calls Incognito mod for Ethereum, and I think it also like one of the most viewed privacy article on Ether Search. So if you like from Ethereum community, like you definitely should take a look at that.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's get into your presentation.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let me share my screen, guys. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I will try to like make it fast. Usually, if I will be talking about something boring, you just kick me like further.
You got it. I'll interrupt you if you linger too far on something.
Yeah. Because I mean, I can talk about different things which may be not related. So feel free, guys.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. And this presentation, I will try also to make it like more related to DAI and like why privacy is important. And I made very quick agenda with like 4 parts: why privacy is important, products which we already have and which you can use like for your DAI, and technology which is behind our products. So starting with like why privacy and why now, I think it's not secret to anyone about the growth rate of like crypto industry like recent years, and as far as we go, it's becoming mainstream. And you guys know about DeFi Grow, you guys know about like PayPal and allowing like buying and selling crypto, right? All this you know, so I just made a cool slide to remind one more time. From our understanding and from like the privacy purpose, we feel that like higher adoption means like higher surveillance. Since like most of the blockchain networks on the market right now is like public ledgers, and all information is traceable. It's very I would say it's hot plate for different kind of surveillance, for different kind of like hackers and attacks. And I think people who understand privacy, they already know that. People who doesn't understand why it's important, I believe they will understand like within a year or like something like that. Also, interesting moment. We were doing kind of survey from Incognito users, and one of our users made a phrase which I start using always. He say, "Cash has always been anonymous," and it's a very strong and powerful like phrase, especially when you bring it to the like the blockchain, and especially in DAI. So technically, DAI is digital cash. You guys create like decentralized, stable cryptocurrency, which can be transferred like whatever around the world without any kind of permission. And we can talk about this later, but it's also one of the reasons why we decided to make DAI the like major stable coin in Incognito network, simply because it's like decentralized, because it's permissionless, and because nobody can stop anyone of our users like to do this. And there's a very interesting trends going on, especially after COVID year. There's some articles which saying that COVID actually speed up like development or transition to the cashless society. And cashless society, it means like full-scale surveillance. So all your like daily activity and like all information about you like will be public, like, and probably like visible. And then like very simple, like simply explaining for people also who like don't know it yet, right? Every transaction you make for your DAI on Ethereum network or any other public networks is like transparent. Since the first DAI is minted to the last DAI is minted, all kind of like transaction minting burning function that links to each other. And the logic behind Incognito is just to make all those transactions anonymous. From our perspective, we call it Incognito mod. So simply when we like build bridge to Ethereum, we call it Incognito mod for Ethereum. We call it Incognito mod for DAI. And the reason behind, because we want to make it as easier as you use Incognito mode on your web browser. And it should be like as easier to understand, as easy to use. Simply, if you're okay with public transaction, you transfer publicly. If you're not okay with this, you just turn on Incognito mode and like all your data is disappeared. With this slide also, I think important to highlight that, let's say if you use Incognito mode, simply your wallet balance, your transaction history is hidden, like receiver and sender address is also hidden, transaction amount is also hidden. So simply all aspects of the transaction is completely encrypted with kind of like one-way encryption. So there's no way to decrypt this data, and nobody is able to like show it further. And important also to highlight here that we implemented read-only keys for every Incognito wallet, and those read-only keys allows you actually to disclose your wallet balance for like people who you want to. In this case, it's going to be like useful for the purpose of like when regulations come, and for example, you need to, let's say that before New Year, there was a lot of news that US going to bring regulation that every self-custodian wallet user who has self-custodian wallet should pass some kind of KYC or verify this wallet. And imagine if you like verify Ethereum wallet, or if you verify Incognito wallet. And then if some kind of data is leaked or some database is hacked, all these verified Ethereum wallets will make like very, very huge like problem for the owners. And if the same situation happened with Incognito wallets, you simply like move funds to another wallet or turn off the read-only key, and like all your like information remains anonymous here.
So the read-only key, you can turn it on or off. There's no like burning and regenerating it, right? You need a totally new address if you want a new key.
Yeah. So you simply you will just need to make a transfer within your Incognito wallet, and no, not Incognito, within Incognito network. So also important to highlight that it's not mandatory to have like only Incognito wallet, because we like also permissionless like blockchain network, and simply like it can be accessible from like any other devices which can make a call to the blockchain.
Got it.
But also, like David, if you imagine the situation, right? Let's say if you pass KYC for the public Ethereum address, then this QIC or this information got hacked or like got public somehow, and then transferring your like Ether or DAI to another address will not help you like at all.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Yeah, while with Incognito, like it solves all problems and you get back your anonymity. And then like also couple like words why we moving in this direction. So in terms of like from like the market, like from the direction we go, we also, when we were doing the research, the numbers was a way more like smaller like a couple of years ago, but the proportion is still remains the same. So like if you look at the cryptocurrency market cap, you will see that that privacy coins like taking like less than 10% of like the whole market cap, is just like a couple percent. And then, you know, when we were doing like this research about, okay, how are we going to position Incognito in this market? Because many users might think that Incognito is like a new privacy coin or like something like that. And then we simply define that nobody needs new privacy coin. Nobody needs new Monero or new Zcash, simply because they good enough to like execute the job why they were created. And then like Incognito points of view is that we want to like target another part of the market, which is beside the privacy coins. So Incognito is actually aimed to deliver privacy to Ethereum network. Incognito aims to deliver privacy to Bitcoin network and like to other public networks like in the pipeline. So that's the reason we move in there. And then
really quick question. So as a side chain on Ethereum, you guys are trying to still do like what's the term I'm looking for? Chain agnosticism, right? Like you guys want to be able to port any token to this side chain, right?
Yeah. So Ethereum, like integration with Ethereum, it's like was our like the first priority. And like simply it was like the first like trustless non-custodial bridge. And then after Ethereum, we started to work on like finding a way to make a trustless bridge for Bitcoin. In this case, it's a bit, not a bit, maybe it's a way more complicated than to build for Ethereum, like because of simplicity of like Bitcoin blockchain. And during the 2020, we tried 3 different bridges to Bitcoin network. So there was like simple trusted bridge. There was more advanced bridge which require like collateralization. Like for example, if you want to anonymize one Bitcoin, there should be custodian like person or organization which lock all own funds to guarantee like return of your money. And the second implementation was on Incognito network and required some kind of like Incognito coins. The third implementation of the decentralized custodians was on Ethereum network. So simply we build a kind of like smart contract which we call decentralized custodian. So anyone can lock like Ether or any kind of ERC20 coins and be custodian for Incognito network to transfer like Bitcoins there. Yeah, so then like stepping back to the products which like we already have on this moment. So the first, like the simple one is Incognito Wallet, which I pitched on like MakerDAO forum, like community. This from this product, we really want to like get as many feedbacks from you guys as possible. Because I mean, our goal is like to make some kind of universal privacy wallet when you will be able to do everything which you can do in public wallets, and you will be able to do like in anonymous way. Like for example, like hold and transfer, for example, swap, for example, like run a virtual node, for example, I don't know, invest, like do farming, or like any kind of providing liquidity. And currently on Incognito, we already implemented DEX, as I mentioned, like Uniswap type of DEX. So you're able to provide like liquidity with DAI, you're able to provide liquidity with ATH, with BTC, and like with some like other coins as well. Yeah, and also quite interesting to mention that on Incognito Wallet, we predefine a kind of like minting smart contract when everyone able to create own privacy coin. So it's kind of template for minting own privacy coin. It's not popular yet, but it's quite interesting feature on this moment.
Nice.
And then this is just like metric we reached so far. So as I mentioned, you can also see on this metric, this is the shielding volume. It's like value of cryptocurrency, which was anonymized, which came actually from public network to Incognito network. And you can see here that actually majority also come from Ethereum network, like Ether and like the list of stable coins. I think important also to mention here that DAI like took 7%, but the most important that is actually this metric is like the fastest growing. Like we started acquiring and kind of farming for DAI in the end of last year. So simply we reached like 7% within like 3 months of this year. So, and we like expecting to keep this like trend. And as I mentioned in like Maker Forum, actually our goal is to make DAI like major stable coin on the network, simply because we want to guarantee like to the users, like whatever they go incognito, they can come back to Ethereum network, while like for example USDT or USDC, they still have like small risk that like for example they can be frozen on Incognito smart contract by the creators of these coins. So that centralization is like the most favorite part of DAI, and why we like it and use it.
Have you spoken to? Have you actually spoken to any of the people who are using Incognito? Like, I'm curious what the main thing that they're doing with the DAI there is. Is it for casual transactions? Are they LPing? Is it like just mirroring what's happening in the main Ethereum chain? Yeah.
I can say that like most of use cases happening right now is actually trading Bitcoin, Monero, Ethereum to DAI, and
okay, cool. That makes sense.
USDC is kind of like dying, so we're trying to get rid of like USDC, and USDT is just like in general, like most of the users have them. But the metric which is increasing is actually trading like those 3 coins, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Monero, to kind of stable coins.
Yeah.
And the second one is of course farming. So simply to grow liquidity pool for DAI, we implement kind of farming. I have one more slide there to show. And briefly, the second product which we are trying to present to like MakerDAO community is this is what I mentioned is anonymous swap. Simply when you like able to trade any coin to any and remains like anonymous, and your trade is kind of unlinkable to your like Incognito wallet address. And and here is the our metric, which we're kind of proud about. As I mentioned, like to you before the call, before we start recording, so Incognito is kind of like no name project. So we try and do not make we're not trying to do not make noise. We actually don't have time like making this noise. But what we try to focus on making some kind of trying to solve some kind of real problems, right? If users like have like demand, for example, on swap Ethereum to DAI, and they don't want to link their wallet to the trade, they want to stay anonymous. We want to like be the project which solve this problem. As you can see also in the right middle graph, this is trading volume on Incognito PDEX. And you can see that, so simply we didn't run any kind of like trading competition. We didn't run any kind of like campaign. We didn't give away any kind of airdrops for people to trade, and which we actually proud about. And it's like purely organic kind of trade on the PDEX. And the biggest spike, one of the biggest spike is actually started happening on in the end of 2020, beginning 2021. I think it's also
when the bull market started.
yeah, kind of. But one of the spikes actually happened when like Bittrex start like delisting some kind of coins, and I assume people start like looking for anonymous solution. In the bottom, I also like highlighted because it's kind of I think David, you followed my first post on Maker community. I did it like back in November, and to be honest, in that case, I say that we want to attract at least like $5 million in liquidity, and in that moment we had maybe 300,000 or something like that. Like right now, I'm happy to say that we have like more than 5 mils.
Goal achieved.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I got a little bit more. After that, I got more ambitious, and now we having some like a way more ambitious goal. Try to attract like actually like bigger DAI supply. To be stored on Incognito layer. So the bigger goal like for next milestone is to try to like attract I don't know, like up to 5% of DAI supply on to keep it on Incognito mode or something like that.
Yeah. It's a good goal.
Yeah, hope so. But again, this is mostly a question of there is actually a couple parameters to make it achievable. So firstly, we just need to make a trustless setup, right? So people no need to trust anyone, and they can just use the technology, which we already did. The second one, which also came from the community, is like security audits. So users like want to be sure that everything is safe. So in February we finished we finished the first audit with for the Ethereum bridge, and there is some like minor fixings we going to do, and then we're going to publish on March this like contract, and yeah.
So what's the actual process of upgrading like the bridge or the network? Does it require all of the different validators to kind of upgrade together, or is there still like a central point of control for upgrades?
There's still a central point of control for upgrades. We also we are on the way to deliver two important like models on Incognito network. The first one is privacy v2. This model which brings confidential assets on the network. Like for example, right now, if you transfer like DAI or Bitcoin through the network, so the like the amount of the transaction and sender receiver data is hidden, but the type of the coin is still public. So technically, it's possible to recognize that DAI was transferred through the network. And confidential assets model, it actually bring solve this problem. So it brings anonymity. With this model, there will not be possible to recognize what kind of assets was sent through the network. And this model comes in April, and then in June, July, we plan to release dynamic committee size. So there's kind of mechanism for committee to kick off not healthy nodes to make like the network more stable. And until this dynamic committee size is released, we have like centralized place of deploying updates. So in this case, we still kind of like 3-4 months in this process. This kind of information,
Thanks for that info.
It's kind of public, so we try to keep it transparent. And I mean, there is nothing to be shy about. Simply, again, right? We are like self-funded. We try to make like decision which better for the network in the long term. And let's say if we need to keep this like update for like making faster deployment, we will keep it until it's required. But in the long term, simply because we build a like privacy network, we clearly understand that it will be successful only if it will be decentralized. So there is no way then privacy network like can be like trusted. So it's, and it also brings, if you keep any kind of if you will keep any kind of trusted like system, it will be very clear vector of attack for everybody who like don't like your network or like whatever I want to do.
Yeah, so it becomes more and more dangerous the more and more adoption you get.
Yeah, exactly. So in this case, we also trying to like communicate quite clear to like our community and users, and
I already know the answer to this, but I wanted to ask just for the recording and for the people, like, where is the best place to get the information on the day-to-day and just all of these questions?
The best place is Incognito forum. It's we.incognito.org, we.incognito.org. There is all documentation about our roadmap, like development plan, about technology, about different aspects of the network. You also can see here that, like for example, we have like different coins in network. We have like Ethereum, like Bitcoin, Monero. For example, like Ethereum breach is like completely trustless right now, while Bitcoin it still require like trust from the core team. For Bitcoin, we also have some like roadmap in terms of how we're going to switch those bridges from trusted to trustless setup. And again, everything is available on Incognito forum. We also think to make it like maybe on the official website as well, to make it more transparent. It's actually quite interesting. In February, we got a lot of like feedback from the community in terms of like communicating this kind of transparency. And in March, we're going to bring a lot more information like that we had before. So it's kind of also good time. If you didn't know about Incognito, I think March is going to be like really good time to like learn everything.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing, to your team's credit, compared to a few of the projects that wanted to come on the community call in the past, like your team's forum has provided me with like literally answers to all the questions that I had, even now. And you're saying that there's going to be even more that you guys are putting out. So that's really, really nice to hear.
I think the biggest complaint from the community we got is that they want to know like clear timeline in terms of like decentralization.
Oh, that's so hard. That's very challenging.
I think people who believe in privacy, they also, I mean, it also clearly understandable that you cannot release decentralized network in day one. And you need to have some kind of process. But what I can say,
MakerDAO knows all about that. I mean, we just we're still going through the process, you know.
yeah. So and then people understand, and then I don't know how guys your community like what you guys think about Cardano, but they are in this process like for more than 4 years, and like our goal is to reach it like a way faster than them. So
yeah. I think reaching it is important, not just saying that you're gonna reach it, you know.
In this case, I have like very clear motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have another choice unless make Incognito decentralized, because I'm like a kind of face of the project, and if somebody will be looking for Incognito creators, they will probably find me. And in this moment, everything should be decentralized. So I'm not kind of influence like anything.
What do
Else.
they call that? They call this the Vitalik complex, right? You become the face of a product. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're the one who's like most vocal and public about it, yeah, that's definitely putting yourself in that position. But I think based on what I see on the forums, there's a ton of like people helping and yeah, it seems like the team is around too, like Aaron and like others. So it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a really nice community that you guys have already built out.
Yeah, actually, we have like quite strong community of people
Can you give
who
me some
believe.
metrics if you have any, like off the top of your head?
I mean, like for example, on Incognito forum, I just checked like this morning, we got 100,000 or 130,000 visits on the forum in the last month. So I don't say that it's 100,000 people, but it like around 10,000 people who visiting is like more than once. In terms of Incognito app, we have. I think we have around like 15,000, 17,000 downloads. And in terms of, I don't remember exactly downloads, but in terms of like active users who open up, it's like around 8,000 per month. So this is like what we have right now.
That's impressive.
In terms of like liquidity, for example, we acquired like $40 million like locked in liquidity pools on Incognito DEX, 46 like right now. For us, it's kind of big also because again, right? Because we have some kind of like trusted party, and it's really big trust like that people like put in there. Yeah. So what other metrics?
Oh, those are a good start for sure.
Yeah, so and our forum is like growing. So in terms of forum, we trying also to make it not only just like about Incognito, but we try to attract there like people who cares about privacy and who can kickstart some kind of topics beside Incognito, but about some like the personal privacy things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And guys, couple slides about the technology behind Incognito. I mentioned at the beginning, but just want to highlight the privacy stack, scalability, and interoperability. What do we have right now? So in terms of privacy, like as I mentioned, we have like ring signature, like still address, confidential transactions, and confidential assets is. Confidential assets and one-time address is coming within next release, like within like 2 months as well. So in this case, if you're not like aware about this like words, then you can probably imagine Monero. And I think that somebody mentioned before that Incognito delivers kind of Monero level of privacy, like simply because we use exactly the same like cryptography. And in simple words, Incognito delivers like Monero level of privacy for DAI. So I don't know, is it kind of clear enough one?
Absolutely. I mean, me personally, I'm not like extremely technical. Like I've read a few articles on like ZK rollups, and at one point, I'm sure in 2017, I read a bit about ring signatures. But for me, this all looks great. Like if you could say that you offer the same level of security as Monero on an Ethereum sidechain for DAI, like that's in my ears, that sounds miraculous. And it looks like you guys have the privacy stack to back it up. So, big achievement.
Yeah. Thank you very much. But still, there will be big achievement in April when we deploy the final release. I think with that release, Incognito will have even higher level of privacy. Simply because Monero doesn't support any assets beside Monero.
Right.
And Incognito support other assets, which kind of like next generation. And then like we are proof of stake, and then we have some kind of like the apps on that. And
who is Incognito's like closest competitor?
So it's actually kind of interesting question because it's kind of, I don't know, for me it's more philosophical. Okay, sorry.
No, you said it right. Philosophical, yeah.
Philosophical. So guys, yeah, I'm like from Ukraine. This is the level of my English. The level of English not affect like the level of like knowledge in physics or in blockchain.
But it's fine. You said it right though. You said it right. So philosophically,
because like Incognito, it's more than like just a network. Like simply because we are like product focused like mindset people, and let's say if we're talking about Incognito like wallet, right, the place when you can store and transfer like cryptocurrency anonymously, the closest competitors to us is like for example for Bitcoin is Wasabi wallet, or for Ethereum we can consider like Tornado Cash, like kind of anonymizer. But on another side, if you compare Incognito with on-chain mixers, Incognito gives you like 10 times higher like level of privacy if you not come back to Ethereum. Like for example, if you shield DAI to Incognito and then send it to me, and then I will go back to Ethereum, it will be the same level privacy as like in Mixer probably, like not big difference. But if you like shield your DAI and you stay like Incognito, or let's say you swap your DAI to XMR, there is no way that somebody will figure out like where it goes.
Yeah.
And this is the first part, right? Then the second product which we have is Incognito DEX. If you compare like, I mean, I think for Incognito DEX, the closest competitor is like Uniswap.
I mean, even so, like it's not even really Uniswap because Uniswap isn't private, right?
Yeah, exactly. So in the privacy DEX, in privacy DEX is probably like BISC exchange. BISC is known as like the oldest privacy like or anonymous P2P DEX, and in this case it also I don't remember, I mentioned this couple months ago on Uniswap or on MakerDAO forum. Probably like it was Uniswap because they were asking also difference between other DEXs, and in that moment when I mentioned that, we actually reach it was like back in November, and in that moment we reach BISC exchange in terms of trading volume, in terms of daily trading volume.
Oh, wow.
In that moment it wasn't big, it was like $200,000-300,000 like per day. And like 3 months later we actually like way far than BISC, because I mean simply we are AMM DEX and we like super easy scalable. Whatever you have liquidity and you have demand, you just scale the trading volume. And Right now, it's also quite fun. Incognito DEX is not, it's listed on CoinMarketCap, but it's not trackable listing. But if you check the DEX stat, we I think we are higher than Binance DEX, than like list of kind of like average DEXs. The coolest thing here, like if you check the graph, that we always like going like further. For the very interesting like statistic of the Incognito DEX is that we launched this in December 2019, like 14 months ago. And during these 14 months, we reach new all-time high in trading volume every month. So every single month, we just get more and more. So it's a good sign for us. I hope we can keep it like further.
Yeah, it's certainly a nice sign. So I have a couple more questions. I know that there's we have like 8 more minutes till the top of the hour. I want to make sure that I cover two things. The first one is I know you mentioned to me before the call that the wallet is mobile first rather than like web first, and I'm curious like what access points there are for Incognito if you are like a desktop first, like web first user and not really a mobile crypto user.
So we are going to launch in March web extension. It's kind of like privacy version of MetaMask, and it will be integrated with MetaMask, and you will be able actually to shield your crypto from MetaMask directly to Incognito through our extension. So yeah, that's the closest step.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
To reach, and then later, maybe in April and May, we're going to have a kind of web interface for all kind of bridges we have, like something similar like REN protocol. And you will be able to shield either Ethereum, like either Bitcoin, from one user interface in the web.
Got it. And then the second thing I wanted to make sure that I covered is I am curious about like how many validators there are for the network, and then also if there's any like plan. Like I know decentralization in general is definitely a huge goal, but I'm curious about like the overall security of the network and growing the number of validators and whatever else needs to happen there. Is there a roadmap? Is my question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's also interesting question. So right now in the network we have 2,800 validators.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. I can show you maybe like very quick.
I mean, apart from the upgradability being centralized, like that sounds like a very, very healthy number of validators. In theory.
Yeah, but in this case, yeah, so 2,833 on this moment. So it's also quite like trackable. We can.
What's the reward for being a validator?
Actually, it's still rewards quite high. Right now, it's maybe like around like 40% APY. Let's say if you set up Incognito node and you will run, it's still quite profitable. And the interesting moment is that, as I mentioned, we plan to release a network to the community this summer, which means like the validator rewards will increase in that moment when we like release the network, and it will be actually like organic incentive for new validators to join, because the reward will increase, and I think that the market will just take that demand on that. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry to derail your presentation a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that was our agreement on the beginning, so you stop me like any moment.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So and then like the last minute, I'm just finishing the. Oh, actually. Okay. In terms of scalability, we are like proof of stake, and we use like sharding for like scaling in the future. So we plan to be on the market for like long run and be able to handle whatever transaction we needed. This is like one of the reasons why we have that many devices. So we invented like our own kind of gadget when you can plug and play and connect to the Incognito network. And from this 2,800, maybe 1,000 devices is like this one small on the right top corner. We call it Incognito node. It's just for people like my mom or like my grandmother who doesn't need to know like how it works, but you just plug in and it starts like powering network. And yeah, that's answered your question. And interoperability. So this article, again, there is like very like detailed explanation about how it works on Ether search. For people who like want to know, you just go there and write Incognito mod, and you will find like very detailed explanation. Logic is very simple. There is like smart contract on Ethereum, smart contract on Incognito, and these two smart contracts interact to each other. And let's say if David wants to anonymize 5 Ether, he lock 5 public Ether on smart contract, then Incognito network getting kind of deposit proof and mint 5 private version of Ethereum. And then whatever happened in Incognito network anonymous, and when you send it back to the public Ether, it works the same. Firstly, Incognito.
How long does it take? Is like I know some of these solutions have like a 10-day waiting period and stuff like that. So what's the speed at which you could deposit and withdraw from Incognito?
In average for let's say, because we run this bridge like for around 1 year, in average like the deposit takes like couple hours. So once Ethereum transaction is confirmed, then minting transaction like starting. It also depends on the load of Ethereum network.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so in this case. But,
got it. What about for withdrawals?
For withdrawals, it's kind of similar. Like couple hours. I mean, yeah, if its network is not loaded and if there's like not demand either from Incognito or Ethereum, it might happen like within 20 minutes. Let's say if you're the first one on this moment who do on Shield, it's quite fast. If there is kind of traffic, then you might wait. And like very briefly, I just wanted to highlight also this is our second research on at Ether Search, how we implement privacy for Ethereum smart contract. So the bridge you can see in the slide before. This is the bridge, and beside the bridge, we also implemented like kind of Incognito broker smart contract, which allows us to communicate with any kind of Ethereum dApps. And simply, if you are like, for example, if you have DAI on Incognito network and you want to trade DAI to Ethereum on Uniswap, so as a trader, you can stay on Incognito and remains anonymous, but your DAI will go through the bridge, through the broker contract. It will be executed on Uniswap, and then your Ether will come back to you as to trader. And the only public information will be is that Incognito broker contract traded with Uniswap. And the trader itself, like as a person or as like Incognito wallet address, like remains unlinkable to this transaction. And last year we actually did do this kind of integration. We integrated with Kyber liquidity pool, and we integrated with like Uniswap liquidity pools as well. So, and it's already accessible from Incognito app. If you're interested, you can try. The only thing I should assure you is that the fee is going to be like really high. I think
yeah. I was gonna make a comment, but I feel like everybody already knows that doing that kind of thing might be gas expensive.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of like product, in terms of technology, this technology is like really awesome. I'm like super proud of this. in terms of product, I feel it's kind of like failure for us, simply because if you trade on-chain on Ethereum and you pay for Uniswap trading like $60, and if you want to do it from Incognito, you need to pay additional
Probably
fee
double.
through the bridge. Yeah. So, but I would say like that when Ethereum solve this problem with the fee, technology will be like unbelievable.
Yeah. Also, I imagine that this can probably be adapted to even use apps on like other layer twos potentially. Like that seems like the beginning of a very big rabbit hole of potential products and uses.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, and that which I also mentioned on the beginning, this kind of implementation allow us also to like mint DAI, for example, in same way.
Right. So somebody can use Maker without even leaving Incognito. It's just going to be a little bit expensive with gas, so they should do it with big amounts rather than little ones. Yeah,
exactly.
I get it.
Yeah, and that's oh, actually, I think I made some. And I think also like important that we try to make some like the real like world use cases. So on the beginning of like last year and 2020, we got grant also like from Binance so Binance actually asked us to build same thing for their chain, which we like built for Ethereum, which means probably that the implementation is quite cool. Then we also integrated anonymous payment with Autonomous. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. This is e-commerce company, like quite popular, like in states. We were actually like the first tool, which first crypto payment tool which was implemented there, and we tried to bring also like more fiat gateways to Incognito. Like for example, let's say if you have DAI on Incognito and you want to cash it out, right now you need to unshield. It means to go public, and then probably somebody will accept your DAI. And we actually work on making Incognito DAI some kind of standard when the people will be able to like receive the anonymous version of that. Yeah, and to finalize this is like to finalize and to link to the first slide when like crypto is eating the world, and we believe if cryptocurrency wins, if it will be in our daily life, then privacy should win as well, because it's impossible to use cryptocurrency daily without having like privacy layer. Yeah, I'm done.
Nice. Yeah, thank you so much, Andrey, for coming and sharing. This was like super interesting and packed with just so much stuff. I know we went a little bit over time, and I was hoping we'd have like a lot more free time for like Q&A and things like that. But I think you covered so many answers to a lot of the things that even I, before the presentation, was thinking of asking. So just kudos to you. So if I guess yeah, any parting thoughts, parting words before we end the call?
I just want to like say sorry if I wasn't clear, like, or I feel like on the beginning I was a bit confused, or like maybe like wasn't good on the beginning. Just guys, it's a little bit late here. I try to do it better. And if you want to, of course, like learn, you know where to go. You go on our forum. But I think the most important for us as like creators of this is if you guys try it and give us like the feedback. Like for example, why if you like it, why you like it, and if you don't like it, that's the most interesting feedbacks. And what do we need to improve to like make it like usable for like your particular needs? That's the only thing we need. And yeah, thank you for inviting.
Yeah, my pleasure. This is really cool, and I think DAI users should know that you guys exist and that you guys are developing and growing. And I'm excited to see what the Incognito protocol has to offer in like a year or two from now. Like, it's going to be great.
Oh, by the way, the last thing,
Sure.
because we aim to make DAI like the biggest stablecoin on Incognito network, and on PDEX we have a farming for DAI as well, which gives like around 13% APY for DAI. It's kind of like, this is the thing which I don't like, to try to convince people because there's some APY. But the funniest and maybe the coolest thing of this is that like you earn interest and like you remain anonymous. That's also kind of
Pretty cool.
interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, right on. Yeah, thank you again so much. And hopefully in the future we can have you guys on again and see what awesome growth you guys experience.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Andrey, and thank you everybody for watching. Hope this was valuable. Cool. Have a good one, everybody.